Let's get a couple of things straight. Number one, this is not aimed at India. This is not aimed at China. This is aimed at his own domestic constituency,
Sure.
as Professor Deepak very correctly said. This is because of the anomalies of the American immigration system that you have millions of, I think Abhijit was talking about millions of people streaming into America, most of them thugs, criminals, God knows what all. And you have bona fide students, brilliant students who are going out there, and you're not even giving them a chance to work after they graduate. That is one. So I think he's trying to address that, and he's trying to address his domestic constituency. Secondly, on the Indian front, let's get a couple of things straight. Number one, this scheme, from what I can understand, is not limited only to the Princeton and Harvards. And let me tell you something, the really cutting edge work in American universities is not happening in Princeton and Harvard. What you have in Princeton and Harvard are encampments and support for Hamas and terrorism support. What you have other universities in the United States, which are not very well known in India, the Emorys, the Vanderbilts and others, who are doing the most cutting edge scientific research. So keep that in mind. This is also for those universities. Number three, I think it is important to understand, given the abysmal nature of Indian academia, it is good if Indian students go abroad. They get, they hone their talents, they hone their skills, but we have to create a system that they come back. Many of them would want to come back, but tell me something, Arnab. In this country, you have done cutting edge research in the world, and you join an organization where an IAS Babu whose history honors pass will lord over you and tell you whether a particular rocket should fire or should not fire. Number one.
That's
Number
my point.
two,
That's my point.
You have, one second. Let me just finish. You have a cutting edge economist who will come and tell you there will be another some Babu sitting out there, some deputy secretary telling you how things should work or should not work. Number three, please tell me which private sector out here does R&D work. Nobody, virtually nobody, right? It's not just about doing software.
No, it is not. You're bang on.
And last year,
Bang on.
and this is crucial.
No,
Please
bang
tell
on.
me
Absolutely the point. Absolutely the point.
What legal and regulatory reforms have you brought in that if I am an entrepreneur who comes back from the US, I want to set up a manufacturing facility? Do you know, a friend of mine, a colleague of mine has done a research. There are 26,000 penal clauses in Indian laws that can put you in jail because you've not kept a peak down so that you can, a spittoon in your factory.
No,
floor.
it's so
You
well
have not
said.
kept a place for a horse to drink water. You have these kind of bizarre
No, we
laws.
are. You see that what Prime Minister Narendra Modi needs to do in his third term is understand that the kind of threat this is. And actually, there has been a pushback from the bureaucracy, so Saurabh. It is not like the government has not wanted to change the nature of recruitment, for example, into government. But IAS lobby does not like it. My question tonight would be this, Abhijit and Saurabh, to you. Suppose today there is a PhD in economics from Harvard, an Indian, or a PhD in space research from Stanford, or a PhD in computer science from MIT, right? And he or she says, I want to work towards Viksit Bharat. I want to make India great again. They are not going to come back, Abhijit, and sit and mug up a general studies paper, a tutorial, go to a tutorial somewhere or go to a coaching center after having done a PhD in computer science from MIT. They want to serve the country. China achieved a lot because it got that high level quality of talent into government.